All right, hey guys, here we are. I am Jeffrey Kunde, and I am going to talk today about my pedal board that I've been touring with for about a year now. This is going to be a full rig run through, and this pedal board was made specially for me, custom made by a company called Goodwood Audio. This is actually the third pedal board that they've made for me, and it's the biggest and the baddest and the best yet. And I just can't wait to tell you guys all about it. It's been road tested and Jeffrey approved. So let's just go through the whole thing, and I'll show you each pedal and how everything's routed and kind of how it all works together. It's kind of a complex system, but it's worth it. All right, so today I'm playing a 91 Strat. This is American Standard. And here we go, going into the pedal board. From the guitar, we're going straight into the Delmar Overdrive. This is a new pedal for me. It's by Bondi Effects. So this took the place of the RC booster on the old board. And it's doing the same thing, just with better tone. So it's a clean boost with... For me, it's not adding any drive or volume really, it's more adding just some EQ. So per the guitar I'm playing, I can just adjust treble or bass and get that right EQ that I want. Especially if I'm gonna switch guitars mid-set, it helps me control my sound from guitar to guitar, so I don't have to run back to the amps and change settings as much. So say I pick up a guitar that's less gainy, then I would turn up the gain on the Delmar, and it would match my other guitar's gain structure. So let's just go straight in. Here's clean tone bridge pickup. And then the Delmar. No Delmar, with Delmar. So just a touch of treble right now and a touch of bass cut. Okay, so from there we're going into the Mastermind Pvc by RJM Music. And this is my new controller. This is the brains for the whole rig. This is a MIDI controller that has software that goes along with it that I'm going to show you at the end of this video. So it's a much more in-depth way to run my rig than ever before. It takes each song and I can program it all on the computer with the exact sounds that I want for each section of the song, and then load it into this guy, and I'm good to go. So like I'll have a set list on tour that I'll get prior, and I'll go to my computer, I'll program all the songs in and all the effects I want to use on each part of the song, plug that computer into the pedal, and boom, I'm ready to go. I don't have to make any adjustments on the fly on my pedal board. I'll show you how all that works, but I'm just mentioning it now because we're going into the Mastermind from the Delmar. So the Delmar is the only pedal that's outside of the Mastermind. That's because it's an always-on pedal, so it's just EQ, and I leave it on all the time. Okay, so now here we are at the Mastermind. Channel 1, this is a 10-channel looper. The way we have it set up right now is channels 1 through 8 are in mono, and 9 and 10 are stereo. This top row are all actually able to go into series versus parallel too. So I'll get to that in a minute. But first let's start with the compression. I'm sticking with the Deep 6 Walrus Audio compressor that I've had now for a few years. It just hasn't let me down yet. It's got that great sound. So here is the Deep 6 with no delay or anything yet. You can hear it grabbing the sound, giving my tone a nice fullness and sort of bringing down the highs and bringing up the lows as I like to simply explain compression. So without compression, and this compressor can be really versatile. Like I can turn this blend knob up and the sustain up and the level down. You'll really hear it sort of grab and crunch the signal. Let me show you. Makes clean tone kind of really cool. So it's fun to play it like that for sort of that pedal steel sort of sound with quieter, chiller songs. But mostly I keep blend straight up and level straight up. All the knobs pretty much straight up on this pedal, and it sounds great. It's adding a little bit of push to the amps, so you can hear the amps are starting to break up a little bit more, which is nice. I like natural amp gain. All right, so after compression, we're going to go to Pog. This year we decided to go with the Nano Punk. It's a smaller pedal, basically. It's still doing an octave, but a high and a low octave, but in a smaller pedal, which is really nice. It doesn't quite have that same great sound that the bigger Pogs have, but I kind of make do with it just for the size. I think it sounds great. It doesn't sound as great as the bigger ones, but it sounds really good still. So here's the Pog. This one's been modded by Matthews Effects. And by the way, all these brand names and links can be found on my website, jeffreykunde.com. Here's the Pog with two presets. I'll show you both presets. So adding a high and a low octave, I have this mix knob all the way to the right, so basically it's letting in all of my dry signal and adding high and low. Then my second preset is almost exactly the same, just with a lot more low end. So here's first preset and second preset. So that's a cool new feature. On the fly, I can just hit a new Pog setting, basically. So the other Pogs do that, and they have different presets and stuff that you can have modded into them, but this one's great because it's tiny. So Pog Nano. Next we have the Little Green Wonder, my old standby. Been on the board for as long as I can remember. This is my first stage drive. Here it is, the Little Green Wonder. It's got that natural, great overdrive sound. I love this pedal. It's very smooth, has nice EQ. I've showed the internet this pedal before, but I will never take it off the board. Never say never, but it hasn't come off since. All right, here's the Super Bolt, still on the board as well. It's the second stage drive. This is a little bit gainier, more like a solo pedal. Next, the Rat. It's my highest gain drive, and if you could get a tight shot of that, you can see my settings. That's the Rat. All right, now we're heading into the wet pedals. So we've all the dry pedals are basically the same as the other board, besides the Delmar. Now we have a couple of new pedals. I added in a flanger pedal. This is by Chase Bliss Audio. It's a great company. They did my flanger and my tremolo pedal this year, which has been really cool. They are very intricate pedals. They have a lot of knobs on them, and they can be MIDI controlled, and they receive MIDI signal for tempo as well. So all of my tempo receiving pedals, the Specter, the Gravitas, the Big Sky, and the Timeline all receive one signal and puts them all in the tempo of the song or the preset that I've programmed. So let's say I'm playing, you know, a classic song at 120 BPM. The Timeline is automatically going to go to 120. The Specter is going to start flanging at 120. The Gravitas is going to tremolo at 120. And if I want the Big Sky to receive tempo and to do reverb things to tempo, it could also do that. Right now I have the Big Sky set up just to pass the tempo signal along to the other pedals. So reverb kind of gets a little funny when you ask it to read a clock, basically, or read a BPM, in my opinion. So on this board at this current time, the reverb isn't reacting to the clock. So before we talk about the Specter and I show you what it sounds like, I should mention this Quartz Sela clock. So now I mentioned before I program all the songs and presets into this pedal, and every preset then sends a signal to all these pedals, telling them what to do. It might turn on the Little Green Wonder. It'll set the Timeline to a certain bank and a certain preset. It'll set the Big Sky to a certain bank and a certain preset, all with just one preset on the Mastermind. It also sends a PC signal to the Quartz timer to tell it what bank to go to. So let's jump over to this Mastermind Pvc. It has basically two main functions. One is like a live mode, which I'm showing you right now, where I'm just basically turning on and off pedals like I would on a normal loop pedal. Or I can go over into the preset mode. Right now it's showing this song called Love Overcomes, and I have it showing that it's in the key of B, because I like a firm reminder of what key I'm in. So preset 1, preset 2, preset 3 for this song. I only needed 3 presets for the song. I could program up to 10 presets, but for this song I only needed 3. So it's sending a signal over to the Quartz timer that's telling it to go to channel 86 or preset 86, and that pulls up this song Love Overcomes at 85 BPM. And that's sending 85 BPM to the Timeline, 85 BPM to the Big Sky, the Specter, and the Gravitas. Very convenient. So all 3 of these presets are sending that signal to the Quartz timer, which is in turn sending time to the other pedals. So if I changed tempo on this pedal, it should not react very long to my new tempo, because this is sending 85 to it. So it's going to switch back once I hit something over here. Right now, see, it's switching back to 85 BPM. All right, on to the Specter. Very cool flange pedal. Lots of options. I have yet to delve into all the infinite sounds that it can make, but here's just a basic flange sound. Onto the Gravitas tremolo. So you can hear it tremoloing at 85 beats per minute. So if I mess with this rate knob, it's not going to do anything to the tempo because it's receiving tempo from this clock. All right, next we have the Old Blood Noise pedal called the Reflector. This is a chorus pedal. sorts of crazy alien noises can come out of that, but it's also a great classic chorus sound that I use pretty often, actually. All right, next we have Timeline and Big Sky, old standbys from me. I'll just play through them real quick. With some reverb. All right, so that is all the pedals. Now to talk about the little features of the board and the routing. Like I said before, all of it is going through this Mastermind. And the Mastermind's sending info to the clock and the rest of the pedals. Now, Goodwood made this extra pedal for me over here that basically tells the Mastermind to bank up and bank down. So I'm using every bank as a song. So every bank, you know, has however many presets in it, and then I can bank up to a song called My One, My All, and it scrolls through the presets until I choose one, and boom, My One, My All comes up. It tells this pedal to go to My One, My All at 77 BPM. Timeline's now at 77. I go over here to live mode, compression, Little Green Wonder, Timeline, Big Sky are already on for that preset. And I've done all the work prior in my computer to tell it to do that, basically. So My One, My All, I think, also has just 3 presets. And you can see the Big Sky and the Timeline changing channels and banks as I hit different presets. So I'm going to show you that in just another minute. First, let's jump over to this junction box, Goodwood. We have a master mute, a left and right out. Then we jump over here on the back. We have a stereo return mono send for like adding in rack effects. If I ever wanted to add in a rack delay or a stereo pedal, then I would send a mono signal to the pedal and then return with stereo, and that would put it into this chain right before the timeline. I also have a mono send and return right here, and so that's going to happen, that send and return is going to happen before all the stereo pedals. And then I had them install this 9-volt out too, so I can power an additional pedals off of the board. Say I wanted to like hook up a whole nother pedal board into this pedal board. Well, it could be powered off of my power supply just with this 9-volt out, basically. So that's the junction box. Nice little custom edition Goodwood made for me. The only other thing we need to talk about before we jump over to the software is the difference between stereo and parallel. So each of these 4 up here right now are programmed to be able to run in, sorry, I said stereo, in series or parallel. So that means right now they're in series. So the mono signal, the guitar signal's hitting the timeline and reverb, and it's affecting it and then sending that to the amp. Well, if I wanted it to run in parallel, then the amp would get all the dry signal along with the wet signal, like as 2 signals. So you would hear a lot more dry mix and then a wet mix on top of it versus the dry mix affecting the wet mix and it all kind of being one. I'll show you what I mean. It's a little bit easier heard than it is told about. So here is series with delay and reverb. And then here's parallel. I'm just going to hold it down. Each of these pedals are going to turn purple. So you hear a lot more dry, but still with the atmosphere on top. So that's series and parallel. Both are great. It's just personal preference, what feels more comfortable to you as a player to use. Lately, I've been running all my stuff in series just because I'm used to that sound and sort of built my sound on a series signal path. All right, let's jump over to the software and I'll show you how all this mess kind of gets its order. So here we are in the RJM software. It's called Mastermind Editor. And I am basically going to work with 3 tabs up here. This is the software. There's all these different tabs that Goodwood knows more about than I do. But I set up and kind of set up shop in these 3 tabs: presets, songs, and setlists. And so first of all, this is my preset list. This isn't my song list. Song list is over here. But I'm just gonna, first of all, what you have to do is you have to program each preset that you're gonna later load into a song. So I have for reference this list of songs here in my preset list. Now this list doesn't really mean anything. It's more just the reference point of the order of presets that I have, and that's a little confusing, but like here, I'll show you what I mean. Never Gonna Stop Singing is the first preset in my preset order. Down here at 100, that's when I actually get into the business of programming each preset. So Never Gonna Stop, I have 4 presets programmed. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Intro, verse, chorus, bridge, and solo. And I'm gonna, first of all, I'm gonna go over here to page 2. And that's where it pulls up all your loops that you can program into that preset. So for the intro, I have compression on, delay, and reverb. I just know that by memory. Loop 1 is compression, 2 is pog, 3 is Little Green Wonder, 4 is Superbolt, 5 is Rat, and so on and so on. The last ones are delay and reverb, 9 and 10. Let's jump down to Love Overcomes, because that's the one that we were working with, and that's in the 400s. It is 492. So 492, I have compression, delay, and reverb on for the beginning. Now I want each of these presets to pull up the same bank or the same preset on that quartz timer that I was telling you about that sends clock or tempo to each of the other pedals. So that is over here, the quartz timer, and that bank for that song is channel 86, or this software calls it PC. So PC 86. So every preset then is going to be PC 86. See, preset 3 is also PC 86. For instance, Love That Saves is 85. So for all those, there's 3 presets in that song. Those are all 85. Love Overcomes are all 86. Now the Timeline and the Big Sky, those pull up presets as well. So the Timeline is going to be 66 in this case. And what that means is it's going to be 66 presets away from the first preset, Timeline preset. So this kind of doesn't have anything to do with banks. This bank number right here doesn't mean anything. If you have a timeline, you know that has banks and then presets in each bank. So the timeline is for like channel or bank 00 is going to be preset A and B in bank 00. You go to bank 1, then it's going to be also preset A and B. Now on when you're programming with MIDI, 0, 0 would be 0, 1, or just 1. That would be preset A in bank 0, 0. Preset B in bank 0, 0 would be 2. Preset A in bank 1 would be preset 3. And so I just keep track of where I'm at in all the presets that I've made. So, and the easiest way to do that is just to do it in succession. So if you're setting up your Mastermind with, 6 songs, then you're just going to have whatever 1 through, if you're doing 3 presets per song, that would be 3 presets per song times 5, then you would be up to 15, PC 15 in the timeline presets. It's a little confusing. You don't have to do math, basically. You just have to make sure you're working in successive order and you're on the right chords timer bank for each song. Then when I go to load these presets into the pedal, that's when I actually save my changes to preset 63 or whatever that is on the timeline. It's probably like bank 15 preset B or something like that, then I'm going to set my wet, dry mix, whatever I want for that timeline preset, and it's automatically going to be set to the right tempo from the quartz timer. So Love That Saves has 3 presets. First preset is compression, delay verb. Second preset is compression, overdrive, delay verb. Third preset, compression, delay verb. Love Overcomes, delay verb and compression, delay verb and compression, delay verb, compression, and super bolt for preset 3. The reason I have 1 and 2 different is because I have different verb settings for preset 2 than I do for preset 1. All right, let's jump over to the songs tab. Here is my master song list. Oh, you know what? I should mention this first. Each title, I like to put the key of the song first, followed by this this line. I don't even know what you call that. And then the song title. And that pulls up on the pedal the song title and then the key down there, which makes it really convenient whenever I'm mid-song. Sometimes I forget what key I'm in. I can just look down and realize that I'm in the key of B for that song. Another way to do it that the Goodwood guys originally recommended was to have each preset be like intro, verse, chorus. So the way you would do that is chorus, then the line, then the name of the song. Personally, I just remember what each preset is for, each section of the song. I like to have the key of the song there instead. So A, line, anything can happen. Then this becomes the title of the song. That becomes the key of the song. All right, songs. Love Overcomes. It says here presets in this song. So then this list is this tab, basically. So I'm going to go to 492 for that preset, for preset 1. If I wanted it this, see, I just click it and it changed over here. E, Love That Saves. But I want 492, first preset in that song. B, Love Overcomes. And 3 presets for that song. I programmed them over on the presets tab. So every song I have in my set list, I want to make sure I do all this work for. I got to load my presets into the song. Choose the song. That pulls up 16 possible presets. And I'm going to click the preset that I want in the order that I want. So I just made preset 15, never stop. I don't want that. So I'm going to go back to none. All right, let's jump over to Setlist. Now, Love Overcomes is in this Recording Sunday 4 set list. So we recorded 4 Sundays in a row for our new live album. So Love Overcomes was the first song in that set list. So this over here is this tab. So I'm going to find Love Overcomes and click it, and it's going to pull up over here. If I clicked Love That Saves, it would change. See that? So I want Love Overcomes in this set list. So this is, first you build the preset, then you build out the song, then you build your set list, then you plug in just a standard USB cable, and you just click Write Changes to Device, and it loads all that jank into the pedal. A good idea, something that I always do, is first read settings from device before I start messing with anything in the software, because all these changes you can make on the pedal, or on the pedal itself, or on the timeline, or on the Big Sky, or whatever. If you click this, read settings from device, that reads all the changes you've made since the last time you've plugged in your computer, and it updates this file. So this is my master song list file, and I always want it updated. So every time I go to make any changes, first I plug in the computer, I read settings from the device, then I make all my changes in here, then I write the changes to the device, and it updates it. All right, guys, that is the end of this video. Thanks for watching. I know it's complicated, but it is awesome, and you guys are going to love it. Any more information that comes out, or any updates that I might have, it'll be on my website, jeffreykunde.com. There's also helpful links on there. Also, goodwoodaudio.com has all of your needs for building this stuff, or technical support. They are the masters behind this madness. So check their website out as well. Thanks for watching.